Let me read you a little bit of the Hamas charter, right? The Hamas charter, this is what they say their purpose is. It opens with a quote: Israel will exist and will continue to exist until Islam will obliterate it, just as it obliterated others before it. This is from the martyr Imam Hassan al-Banna of blessed memory, it says. This is a genocidal movement. This is a movement bent on destroying all the Jews. That's what it is. It is when people support Hamas, when people compare Hamas to Israel, they're comparing a free democratic state to a genocidal terrorist movement. That's what's happening, okay? All the other things that play into this, you could, if you were on the scene, if you were really educated about it, if you were really knowledgeable about it, you might say, oh, well, the court should have decided this. You might say, oh, well, you shouldn't march on Jerusalem Day. Actually, they canceled that march. You might say all kinds of things, but let's not be confused about the two sides. Israel is a sovereign democratic state. Hamas is a genocidal terrorist organization. I want to read you, as I say, racism is a species of big think. And the greatest big think racism is anti-Semitism, because when people start on anti-Semitism, they think the Jews control the world and are responsible for every single thing that happens in it. This is from the Hamas charter. It is just a list of anti-Semitic tropes that have been around forever. For a long time, the enemies, meaning the Jews, have been planning skillfully and with precision for the achievement of what they have attained. They took into consideration the causes affecting the current of events. They strive to amass great and substantive material wealth, those rich Jews, which they devoted to the realization of their dream. With their money, they took control of the world media, news agencies, the press, publishing houses, broadcasting stations, and others. They've really got it figured out. They've really honed this down to a complex series of details. It's the Jews! With their money, they go on, they stirred revolutions in various parts of the world with the purpose of achieving their interests and reaping the fruit therein. They were behind the French Revolution. I'll bet you didn't know that. I'll bet you thought the French were behind the French Revolution. They were behind the Communist Revolution. And most of the revolutions we heard and hear about here and there. With their money, they formed secret societies such as Freemasons, Rotary Clubs, the Lions, and others in different parts of the world for the purpose of sabotaging societies and achieving Zionist interests. I mean, this is like listening to a guy raving in his mother's basement. This is the Hamas charter. With their money, they were able to control imperialistic countries and instigate them to colonize many countries in order to enable them to exploit their resources and spread corruption there. It's all the Jews. You may speak as much as you want about regional and world wars. The Jews, they were behind World War I when they were able to destroy the Islamic Caliphate, making financial gains and controlling resources. They obtained the Balfour Declaration, formed the League of Nations through which they could rule the world. They were behind World War II, through which they were behind World War II. I get it. Let's wipe us all out. That'll help us take over the world. Through which they made huge financial gains, the ones who survived, by trading in armaments and paved the way for the establishment of their state. It was they who instigated the replacement of the League of Nations with the United Nations and the Security Council to enable them to rule the world through them. There is no war going on anywhere without them having their finger in it. That is big think in a nutshell. It's all the Jews. If we can just convince you of that, you will become an angry, hateful, murderous person who will, because you think you're going to solve all the problems of the world. You want to see an example? Here's Rashid Tlaib, one of your congresswomen.
What they are doing to the Palestinian people is what they continue to do to our black brothers and sisters here, to the immigrant community here in America. So I want you to know this. As you are marching for freedom of Palestine, please know that you must be marching for everybody's freedom. It is all interconnected.
Now, you may not have been able to hear that because she was screeching like a banshee through her mask. This is what she said. What they are doing to the Palestinian people is what they continue to do to our black brothers and sisters here. So I want you to know this. As you all are marching for freedom of Palestine, please know that you must be marching for everybody's freedom. It is all interconnected. Who is they in that sentence, Congresswoman? Who the hell is they? She's got it all figured out, too. They have all got it figured out.